Also, in the information section of Blackboard, of the course on Blackboard, you'll find a class schedule. This is a tentative class schedule. Let me explain a little bit about the schedule just to give you an idea what we'll be going through, but more importantly, to give you an idea that as we go through the material, I will be telling you what we will be talking about by the numbers that you see, the topic number that you see, and the topic on the left side of the page. And the way it's organized, we have a number, a topic, and then I have four little boxes at the end, sections and pages. That's the section beginning, section end, page begin, page end. One thing I should tell you, if you pick up either of our books of Plato's dialogues, you will see that over on the margin of the page, depending on whether which page you're on, but over on the margin on the outside, not near the binding, there are these numbers going down the page, numbers and then letters A through E. These refer to a standard edition of the Greek works that we're looking at, and that's the way the pages were numbered in that standard edition. So when I'm talking about sections, oftentimes or usually when scholars refer to parts of Plato's dialogues and many ancient Greek philosophical works, they make reference to the passages that they're talking about by sections. So I wanted you to be able to see where the section begins, section ends for each topic, the reading, and by the same token, the pages in the book that you're using. So if you noticed what we're going to be doing, and I have it sectioned off, that is the beginning, first topic, Introduction to Classical Greek Philosophy, the central, and I don't have this particular topic, that is the course introduction on there, but we'll be talking about the central questions of philosophy, the classical Greek philosophers, who these guys are, logical thinking and argument analysis, which is an important skill that we'll be practicing in philosophy, an important skill to refine as you go through life. So that's going to be the first topic. There is no reading for that topic, or I should say there is no reading in the books. I may assign down the road some small encyclopedia articles to you. Second topic, so once we're finished with that, we'll be talking about Plato's Euthyphro, and you see the topics under there: morality and religion, Socratic method and definitions, first definition of piety, second definition of piety, if you're wondering, piety, religious devotion, and there's an analogy that they make between religious devotion and what you ought to be doing, what's morally correct. And then we'll be looking at the Euthyphro dilemma, which is an argument that Socrates gives, or Plato in the mouth of Socrates gives, to show that there is no connection between what you should be doing, what you ought to be doing, what ethics requires, and what religion requires of you. And we'll explain that a little bit more when we get into it. Then we'll be talking about the fourth definition finally, and finishing up that dialogue. From there we'll move on. That's a nice introduction to the Apology, because it gives you an idea of what Socrates would do. And the early dialogues that we're going to be looking at are written by Plato, but scholars believe that they really represent the opinions, the views of Plato's teacher, Socrates. From there, we'll be moving on to the Apology, which is about the trial of Socrates. Socrates was ultimately executed for practicing philosophy, you might say. And they're the list of topics. And as we move down a little bit, let me scroll up a little bit for you. You're going to see then we're going to be moving on. Having gone through that, we're going to look at some of the arguments that they give for his conviction, against his conviction, and we're going to be analyzing them. Are they good arguments? Are they not? And from there, we'll move on to Plato's Crito, which many scholars, I should say, think is about political philosophy. That is, Socrates' views on the moral obligations people have with regard to the state or with regard to society, and we'll be discussing the problem of civil disobedience in that regard. And those 18 or so topics will take us about half of the semester to get through. We might not be able to complete all of them. We will try. So that's, as I'm saying, this is a tentative schedule. And we'll then have the number 19, we schedule the midterm exam. And then for the second half of the semester, I was going to try to roll it up, but I can't roll it up past a certain point. But from there, you can read on. We're going to move into Plato's Republic, and we're going to talk about these various topics in Plato's Republic, about ethics and morality, morality and political philosophy, philosophy of mind, that is the parts of the mind, talk about knowledge and reality. And when we get up to knowledge and reality, we might go back and read part of the Meno and take a look at part of the Meno. And in that context, we'll probably be learning a little bit more about the earlier philosophers. And then finally, time permitting, we will finish up the Republic on the rewards of morality. Now, right now, I think we have about most of, according to the schedule, we'll be reading most of the Republic. I will probably hone that down a little bit. That is, I probably whittle that down because that's really a lot of reading. And we probably won't cover every one of these topics in depth. There just probably is not enough time in the course of the semester. During our last class, we will have a review, and then we will have the final exam. So that's our tentative schedule. Your reading assignments will come off of this schedule, and if we pare down the amount of reading, I will update this schedule, so you'll find the document on Blackboard.